For dinner tonight, I'm going to make French dip sandwiches. I got some marked down roast beef at Ralph's. I've got some au jus gravy mix I've had for a while. I've got these sandwich rolls that I got at Ralph's. I used $1 Peely. There was an Ibotta rebate. They were a really good deal. I'm going to toast them up in the oven. Put a little bit of sprinkled cheese on it just so I can make I like to make the meat stick. And so yeah, let's get to cooking. We're also going to have French fries, so let's get to cooking.
Where?
And here's our French dip sandwiches with French fries and au jus gravy to dip it in. So happy Monday. For dinner tonight on Wednesday night, we're going to make some homemade hamburger helper. I'm just going to use half of this because it's just my husband and I, and homemade hamburger helper makes a big giant skillet of food. So if you're feeding a family, yes, use the whole pound, but I'm just going to use half of this ground beef, and I'm going to brown it up with some diced onion. I'm going to use some Greek yogurt. I'm going to use up the rest of this milk. There's not much in it. I'm going to make it because I have this Velveeta that I want to use up. Normally I'd use, real sharp cheddar cheese, but I need to use this up. So we're going to do it. It's delicious. It's going to make it creamy and good. I got some ketchup packets I want to use up, so I'm going to use these. If I need more, I'll add this. And of course, we're going to do just a little bit of paprika, onion powder, chili powder, and garlic powder. So let's get to cooking, and also some elbow macaroni. So let's get to chopping and cooking. And also we'll have steamed asparagus to go with it and some crescent rolls. Alright, so I'm just going to brown this up, and then I'll add water, milk, a little bit of Greek yogurt, and the macaroni and some ketchup, and put a lid on it, and then let it simmer for about 25 minutes. Okay, I added everything. I only did one little chunk of Velveeta. I think I'm going to add the cheese after I put the lid on it and it cooks for like 25 minutes and the pasta gets soft. Then I'm going to add the cheese. But I've got Greek yogurt in it. I put about a cup of milk and about 2 cups of water. So we're going to put a lid on it, and then we're just going to let it simmer for 25 minutes and dinner will be ready. And our asparagus is steaming away. Okay, this came out really creamy and really good. So I highly recommend this dish. This is really good. Now it's not super thick, but if you just let it sit for like 3 minutes, it'll get nice and thick. And here is the homemade hamburger helper, cheeseburger macaroni style, steamed asparagus and crescent roll. So happy Wednesday.
So they did it differently.
Cherry juice
For dinner tonight, we are having steak and gravy, mashed potatoes, green beans, and crescent rolls. So happy Sunday. For dinner tonight, on Tuesday night, I'm going to make meatloaf. So I have a pound of ground beef in here. I have an egg. I've got some oatmeal, some hamburger seasoning, some salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and I'm going to squirt some ketchup in here. And then we're going to mix it all together and form it into a loaf and put it in the oven at 350 for about an hour. And we're going to mash up a potato. So I got this bag of 3 potatoes at Ralph's. When they have these mesh bags, it means everything in them is 99 cents. So 3 potatoes for 99 cents is really great. So I'm going to cut one up. And then wash it, scrub it, cut it up, boil it, mash it. We're going to have mashed potatoes and also green beans. So meatloaf, mashed potato, and green beans is what's for dinner tonight. Let's get to cooking. So instead of using a new can of green beans, I had some leftover green beans from 2 nights ago dinner. And then I also had some in my freezer. So I took the ones out of my freezer. And we're going to eat those instead of opening a new can and having to deal with more leftovers. We're going to eat the leftovers that we already have. So much better this way. And then my potato is boiling nicely. 1 potato is plenty for 2 people. And the meatloaf is in the oven and it is cooking away. It smells really good. Hot sauces are taking over my butter.
Aw, that's nice.
You tried to let them spill on top of the beer. You got your peppers up there too. So all the 8 that are in the vegetable drawer that are moldy, are you okay with me dumping them? Since they didn't get eaten? And here's our meatloaf, mashed potatoes and green beans and extra ketchup for our meatloaf. So that is what we are having on Tuesday. Okay, for dinner tonight we're having corn on the cob on the grill and steaks on the barbecue. Steaks on the grill and corn on the cob. And meanwhile, in here I am making steamed asparagus and I have a baked potato in the microwave. And here's dinner: steak, baked potato, asparagus, and corn on the cob. So happy Thursday. For dinner tonight, we are having pizza, Caesar's, and Caesar salad. So we're going to have the double pepperoni Neapolitan crust pizza as well as the 6 cheese. I like to cook both of them, and then we can have plenty of leftovers for another dinner or lunch. So let's get to cooking. These make easy, quick dinners, and they're very, very delicious. So let's get to cooking. Here is our pizza and our Caesar salad for dinner tonight. So happy Saturday night. Nice, quick, easy, delicious dinner. For dinner tonight, we're having ribs, corn on the cob, watermelon, greens, and mac and cheese, and beans. So we're having our fake out Lucille's dinner at home. So happy Father's Day. Thank you for cooking.
You know.
Thank you
Happy
for
Father's
cooking,
Day.
dear.
Anyways, it's the hill.
For dinner tonight, I'm going to make French dip sandwiches. I've got some sliced roast beef. I've got some buns. These are the Dave's Killer Buns. They're good. They have all kinds of nuts and seeds, and they're really good. I've got some au jus gravy heating up in a pan. I'm going to heat this up in a skillet, and then we're going to have some French fries to go with it. So just an easy, quick dinner. It's a hot night tonight, so I don't want to be in here too long in this hot kitchen. We're just going to make it real fast, and won't be too bad. So let's get to cooking. And here is our French dip sandwiches, French fries, and the gravy to dip it in. So happy Monday. For dinner tonight, I'm trying to clean out the freezer. So I did get these a while ago at Walmart, and they were a really good deal. I think they were like $2.96, but you got like 700 kicks back on ShopKick, which was $2.80. So it made them like really cheap. But they've been in my freezer for a couple of months, so I wanna eat them. And they look good. Breaded and stuffed chicken cordon bleu for dinner tonight. And then we're going to pair that with a Caesar chopped salad kit. So it's just going to be an easy, quick dinner. But I'm excited because we're getting stuff out of the freezer. So let's get to cooking. Okay, here it is. Chicken cordon bleu, Caesar salad. And I have a little bit of Dijon mustard for my chicken cordon bleu. So happy Wednesday. Okay, I am going to make kind of a roux sauce. So I've got some butter and flour. And I'm going to mix this up and heat this up. And then we're going to add milk. And then we're going to start adding cheese and make a nice sauce. And then we'll put it all together and put it in a baking dish and put some cheese on top and put it in the oven and have some mac and cheese. I added milk to my flour mixture. It is a little bit lumpy, but that's okay. And now I've added the Velveeta. We're going to melt that, and I'm going to drain my pasta, and once this is melted, we'll mix it all together and put it into this casserole dish, and it will hopefully be really, really good. Mac and cheese, homemade mac and cheese. And here it is, the mac and cheese. It turned out really good. We've got leftover beans, we've got ribs, we've got leftover greens, so happy Rib Saturday. For dinner tonight, I'm going to make some kind of a sausage pasta skillet stuff. So I'm going to saute this andouille smoked sausage that I got for $2.50 at Albertsons. I've got a squishy, almost squishy tomato that needs to be used up. I've got some leftover tomato slices I want to use up. I've got more tomato and onion in here I'm going to use up. And I've got celery that I'm going to dice up and put into the skillet along with some onion. This zucchini was in my vegetable drawer and it froze. So I'm going to try to salvage it. Put some zucchini in it also. And garlic, and I'm going to cook some pasta to mix in it. I want it to be kind of a creamy sauce, but I don't have any heavy cream, so I'm going to use some Greek yogurt and some milk to give it kind of a creaminess, and put some cheese in it, garlic, and then I'm going to make garlic hot dog buns to go with it. So I got my water almost boiling for the pasta. This could be a one skillet meal, but I'm afraid my skillet may not be big enough to include the water in the pasta and make sure it gets cooked and all that. So I'm just going to do my pasta separate today. So let's get to chopping and cooking. I'm only going to do half of the sausage since my skillet isn't huge. So I'm going to put the sausage in a little bit of oil, and now I'll chop up the onion and the celery and the zucchini and tomato and all that and saute it all together. For spices, I put some paprika. I put some of this chipotle and roasted garlic seasoning. I put a little bit of chili powder, some garlic powder, some, oh, I only used one of these chili powders, and some onion powder. And I'm also going to put a little bit of salt and pepper in here. So hopefully it turns out good because I don't know what I'm doing. I put the milk and the Greek yogurt, put some Parmesan cheese and some of the mozzarella and provolone, so it's a nice creamy sauce now. So we're just going to let it simmer while the pasta finishes cooking and the garlic hot dog buns are in the oven. Okay, the pasta's done and I mixed it with the rest of the sauce, and it looks and smells amazing. So we will eat dinner now. And here it is. It's very colorful, smells great, and we have our mangled garlic hot dog bun. So that's what we're having for dinner. Happy Sunday. Oh, it's ready. And here is our pasta. I'm not even sure what to call it. Andouille sausage, Cajun-y pasta with a bunch of vegetables and creamy sauce. And the mangled garlic hot dog bun. So happy Sunday, but it sure is colorful, pretty, and smells really good. So happy Sunday. For dinner tonight, we're going to have steaks, corn on the cob, steamed asparagus, and baked potato. So we will split this baked potato. My husband will barbecue the steaks and the corn out on the grill, and I'll steam the asparagus and microwave the potato in the house. So let's get to cooking. They're kind of thick. Oh man, it smells so good. Yum.
Oh boy.
And here it is, fresh off the grill. The steak is giant. Of course, I'm not going to eat it all, but it smells so good. The corn is perfect with a little bit of char on it, half of a baked potato, and beautiful fresh green steamed asparagus. So happy Tuesday. Yeah, that one looks really good too. It's got the spicy on it. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for cooking, dear. Happy Steak Tuesday, New York Steak Tuesday. For dinner tonight, we're going to have steak and gravy. So I have these round steaks that I'm going to put in the crock pot, and I'm also going to put some sliced onion on top, and then I will top it with the cream of mushroom soup, so it makes a really good tender steak with a yummy gravy. And then we'll have that with mashed potatoes and some kind of vegetable. So it's early in the morning. Let's get to cooking. And here's the steak and gravy, mashed potatoes, steamed zucchini and yellow squash, and a crescent roll. So happy Wednesday. For dinner tonight, we're having French dip sandwiches and French fries, and we have the au jus to dip our French dips in. So happy Thirsty Thursday. For our summertime lunch today, we're having some cold, crisp, sweet slices of watermelon and a BLT sandwich. I'm also drinking some zero sugar sweet tea. And darling husband has the tea Java tea. So that is our summer lunch today. For dinner tonight, I'm going to make fajitas. I've got leftover steak that we have from a few nights ago, so I'm going to just slice that really, really thin and heat that up. And also, I'm going to put in the oven bell peppers. I've got a green one, I've got a red one, I've got a yellow squash and a red onion, so I'm going to slice those up and put those in the oven. We're going to have Mexican rice to go with it. And yesterday I made some pinto beans in my crock pot, so I'm just going to warm these up, and that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. I found these deep in the back of my fridge, but since they were in the refrigerator, they're still really good. So, but we're going to get these used up, so I'm excited about that. So let's get to cooking. I'm going to slice these up and put these on my sheet pan and get them in the oven. And here's our beautiful, colorful fajitas, our homemade pinto beans in the crock pot, and the packaged Mexican rice. So happy Saturday. Happy Fajita Saturday, using leftovers and things out of the back of the fridge. For dinner tonight, I'm going to use my leftover steak and gravy, mix it with some enchilada sauce. I've got tortillas heating up in a pan, and I'm going to make beef enchiladas. So I'm going to shred up this beef and mix it with the enchilada sauce and roll it up into tortillas. Put it in a pan, put more sauce on top, and put cheese on it. And I also am going to cut up some onion to put on it. So let's get to cooking and using up these leftovers. Last night we had fajitas, so we have leftover rice and beans, so that's what we're going to have with our enchiladas. I put the tortillas in a pan to warm them up, and I brush them with some oil and then turn them over a few times until they get to where they won't crack when you roll them. And then I put the stuff in here, and then I roll them up, and then I place them seam side down in a pan. And I'm also going to pour more enchilada sauce on top and then sprinkle it with cheese and my chopped onion. And then we'll put it in the oven at 350 for about 30 to 45 minutes, just until it gets nice and golden brown and bubbly and yummy.
Promotions and always helping to change the game, particularly in women's boxing.
Coming up next month at Madison Square Garden. Did you think it would be a smart to be able to promote it?
Yeah, man, no, it's.
And here's our mangled enchiladas, rice, beans, and a simple lettuce and tomato salad. So happy Sunday. Okay, so for dinner tonight, I'm at Bunkum. We're having slops and tots. Slops, tots, corn casserole, deviled egg, salad, and there's pickle under there somewhere.
I forgot my pickle. I could do, I'll just do a.
For dinner tonight, we are having Vince's spaghetti, also some Caesar salad, and garlic bread. So happy Sunday. For dinner tonight, we're having more leftover Vince's spaghetti, but we're also having it with Caesar salad and leftover garlic bread and some Vince's soup. For dinner tonight, we are having more of this chicken cordon bleu, getting this cleaned out of the freezer. They're actually pretty good. And also pairing it with a Caesar salad. So that is our dinner for tonight. Today is the last day of June, so we will see you next month's dinner. So happy June.